All right. Welcome everyone into the Celebrate Recovery stream, the very first Celebrate Recovery stream uh, that we are doing, or that I'm doing. Uh, all right. So a little introduction into the Celebrate Recovery stream. If you are new, well, of course you're gonna be new to it, but if you're new to what Celebrate Recovery is, Celebrate Recovery is a recovery program uh, that's set up with lessons and books and whatnot uh, to help those that are recovering or have been fighting from any addiction, any hurts, habits, or hangups whatsoever. Um, even though this is a Christian-based recovery, recovery lessons and stuff, does not mean you have to go to church or have a certain belief or of any kind. So I do want to let everyone know about that specifically. All right, so before we get started, uh, I want to make a note to everyone, and this is gonna be like the your own personal newcomer 101 kind of thing. And of course we're not going to be doing we're not going to be splitting up into groups at the moment. We're since I'm doing it streamwise, I have to figure out that part of it. I have to really figure out that part of it. But until then, we will do the best we can on stream and what stream will allow, and just and do that. So, okay. So if you are I want to let you all know that let me go over. Let's go over some Celebrate Recovery guidelines that we are going to do and use. All right, so for the first part, for the very first part, I do want to express that that even though this is a Celebrate Recovery stream, Celebrate Recovery streams and lessons and whatnot, please remember that even though I'm bringing you all the lessons and streams and stuff on stream, please keep in mind that I myself am not perfect, and nobody else is perfect, and that is completely fine whatsoever. That is completely fine, because we're all human. We all struggle with so much, and it takes a very strong person to actually admit stuff that they've done wrong, or admit or hurts that they've been through, hangouts that they've been in. I mean, it really takes a strong person. So if you're going to be watching on Twitch or YouTube, which is the two main streams that I'm going to be streaming on, I want to express that we're here, both streamer and viewers. We are here to support one another, not fix one another. If I was wanting to fix all you, there'd be a whole list. There'd be a whole list of fixing. But that's not what we're here to do. That is definitely not what we're here to do. My goal of this Celebrate Recovery stream is to help support those who are either recovering, fighting recovery, or have been through the process and I want to help build each other up despite what they've gone through, despite anything whatsoever, despite beliefs. We're just got. My main goal is to help you all, just in case you aren't able to go or you don't feel comfortable going to these recovery groups. You don't even have to leave your living room. I'm going to bring the recovery group to you all. Okay? I'm going to try my best as a streamer to work things in stream form perspective and viewer perspective to bring you all of lessons and whatnot into a recovery stream. And we are going to do this all together. I do want to also express that that everyone that comes into the stream, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch, there's not going to be we're not going to have no negativity and no negative talk. It's all going to be positive. My goal is to encourage one another, build each other up, because even if you are or if you're not recovering or you've been through recovery, we all know the struggle of what it's like to be judged, turned away from our problems, from whatever it is. You're not going to be judged. You're not going to be turned away. You are going to be loved just the same, whether despite religion, belief, anything, despite anything like that. You will still be loved, welcomed, and encouraged the best of my ability as a streamer to you guys as a viewer. So, but like I said, this is a despite any beliefs or religion or what or anything at all spiritually, I do want to let y'all know that this is a Christian-based recovery lessons and whatnot, but that's fine because we're just all gonna get along. That's how it is. All right, and I see we have some viewers on Twitch, and we're gonna get you shout outs. And thank you so much for coming into the stream. Thank you so much. All right. And I really hope everyone is doing really well, despite where you are, whether you're here in the United States or overseas. I, I mean, I strongly want to tell you all that I love each and every one of you dearly, and I appreciate each and every one of you. All right. So, with that being said, let us. Okay, so we are going to go over the 8 principles and their biblical comparisons. Well, and uh, the 8 principles are based on the Beatitudes, and like I said, this is a Christian, Christ-centered recovery group. But the lessons are, but again, like I said, despite belief, you're still welcome in here. You're still welcome. You're still going to be loved either way. But I'm just so I'm just going to go through. I'm just going to go through the lessons as if as I have it written down before me until I can. I mean, I'm like I said earlier, we're here to support one another, not fix one another. And you're not gonna be judged or turned away. You're gonna be loved either way, no matter what. All right, so the 8 principles. Let's go over the 8 principles. And again, they're based on the Beatitudes. And the 8 principles, each one spells out recovery, is what it is. It's an acrostic. Each letter represents a certain thing. It has parts of the Beatitude that goes along with each the acrostic letter. I hope I'm saying that right. Acrostic. I hope I'm saying that right. But okay, so the R in recovery. Realize I am not God. That I am and admit that I am powerless to control my tendency to do the wrong thing, and that my life is unmanageable. Happy are those who know that they are spiritually poor. Matthew 5:3. The E in recovery. Earnestly believe that God exists, that I matter to him, and that he has the power to help me recover. Happy are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Matthew 5:4. The C in recovery. Consciously choose to commit all my life and will to Christ's care and control. Happy are the meek. Matthew 5:5. The O in recovery. Openly examine and confess my faults to myself, to God, and to someone that I trust. Happy are the pure in heart. Matthew 5:8. The V in recovery stands for voluntarily submit to any and all changes God wants to make in my life and humbly ask him to remove my character defects. Happy are those whose greatest desire is to do what God requires. Matthew 5:6. The E in recovery. Evaluate all my relationships, offer forgiveness to those who've hurt me, and make amends for harm I've done to others, when possible, except when to do so would harm them or others. So if it's gonna cause harm to either them, to someone else, or yourself, then that's the only exception. Uh, Happy are the merciful, Matthew 5:7. Happy are the peacemakers, Matthew 5:9. The next are in recovery. Reserve a time with God for a self-examination, Bible reading, and prayer in order to know God and His will for my life and to gain the power to follow His will. And the why in recovery. Yield myself to God to be used to bring this good news to others, both by my example and my words. Happy are those who are persecuted, because they do what God requires. Matthew 5:10. All right. So each recovery night we're going to be each recovery night we're going to be either reading the 8 principles, or we're going to be doing the 12 steps. So it's going to go back and forth each week. We're going to go through all those, either the 8 principles or the 12 steps. It's going to be one or the other week to week, each week. So, okay. So tonight we are going to talk about denial, and we're going to go through. We're going to go through the acrostic, and I hope I'm saying this right. The acrostic, where each letter of denial stands for a certain thing, and then after we get through the lesson, I'm going to have questions. They're for groups, but I feel as if we can, I'm not gonna personally answer, because I can, but I feel as if the questions at the end are the kind of questions where it's personal. They're personal, and they're kind of the questions that you want to ask yourself and really dive deep into the questions that are being asked, and they're going to be based off. They're going to be based off of denial, and we're also going to be talking about. We're also going to be talking about others, like sponsorships and accountability partners as well. Which is another process in recovery, in a recovery group, or is to have a sponsor. If you have a sponsor or someone that's already been through a recovery group of some kind, or someone that is trustworthy to be a sponsor, and for accountability partners, you want to have someone that is trustworthy to be accountability partners. Accountability partners are the friends, family, the ones who hold you accountable. Okay, the ones that hold you accountable. Like if you do something wrong, they don't get onto you. They gently correct you. Okay, they're still gonna love on you. You're and it's all right if we mess up because we're human. But if we happen to slip, the accountability partner is accountable. So I, I'm going to pause for a All right, sorry about that. I have paused there for a moment because that water and the coffee just went through me. It really did. So, um, okay, okay. So, like I said, we're going to talk about denial tonight. And denial is refusing to grant, admit, or believe. So, like, when we're in denial, we're basically denying, or denying or refusing to grant, admit, or believe anything whatsoever. All right, so let's go on. Denial, and this kind of step one. This comes from step one. We admitted we were powerless over our addictions and compulsive behaviors, that our lives had become unmanageable. And that comes from Romans 7:18 says, I know that nothing good lives in me, that is in my sinful nature. For I have the desire to do what is good, but I cannot carry it out. Romans 7:18. Principle 1 says, realize I am not God. I admit that I am powerless to control my tendency to do the wrong thing and that my life is unmanageable. Happy are those who know they are spiritually poor. Matthew 5:3. All right. So, before we can take the first step of recovery, we must first face and admit our denial. Jeremiah 6:14 says, you can't heal a wound by saying it's not there. So if we say saying something's not there, how can we heal it? It's basically denying, like we're denying our problem. We're saying it's not there. We're trying to cover it up. All right. So the acrostic for denial. The D in denial stands for, it means disable. It says, sorry, let me reword that. The D in denial stands for disables our feelings. So when we're in denial, we basically disable our feelings. We deny any feelings of of any kind whatsoever. By representing our feelings, we froze our emotions, understanding, and feelings is freedom. So, like whenever we deny any feelings or deny, if we freeze our emotions and not understand feelings, if we're trying to cover up our feelings and cover up our emotions, that's pretty much denying. We're denying our emotions, denying our feelings. But when we understand our emotions and understand our feelings, that's when freedom really happens. That's when freedom of our recovery actually happens. The E stands for energy lost. A side effect of our denial is anxiety and loss of energy. Whenever we're in denial, we pretty much don't want to do anything. We want to like whenever we're in denial, we want to be couch cushion. We want to be couch potatoes. That's what I wanted to say. We want to be couch potatoes. We don't want to be active and in our daily lives. We want to push everything aside and kind of be isolated, and like we put off our feelings, our emotions. We basically put off our everything in our daily life. That's what denial is. Denial is and it's not just denying God. It's not just denying God, but it's denying ourselves. It's denying others. It's denying our hurts, denying our addiction. Everything gets denied, pushed aside, and it's energy draining. It's energy draining, honestly. When even whenever we was on quarantine and whatnot, the isolation didn't help none, and Lord knows I'm telling the truth on that. All right, but isolation didn't help none. That they said it would help us, health wise, but it didn't help us mental health wise, especially us that struggles with that's already struggled with isolation or struggled with addiction. That whenever we're isolated, when we uh, have loss of energy, that's all denial. That is denial. So, okay. So the next, best move on. Best move on before I get shut down by the government or something. Okay. All right. So the N in denial negates our growth. We are as sick as our secrets. We are as sick as our secrets. So like whenever we hide our addictions, whenever we hide our feelings, whenever we hide our emotions, whenever we're hiding what we want to recover from, the addiction or what the hurt habit hang up addiction, whatever it is we choose to recover from, if if we're still in denial, we're pretty much just as spiritually, emotionally, mentally sick as hiding that addiction or thought or feeling. Or I mean, if we don't admit it, if we don't admit, if we don't believe in helping ourselves or helping from this or believe that we're being hurt or admit that we're wrong, or that's pretty much telling everyone. It's pretty much hurting ourselves as much as we hurt others around us. What? So, all right. The I in denial stands for isolates. Our denial keeps us in the dark. And whenever we isolate, whether it be belief, friends, I mean, whenever we isolate, we want to literally hide from everybody else. We want to hide from ourselves. We want to literally shut down our emotions, feelings. We want to shut in our minds whenever we isolate ourselves, because, and the only reason why I am speaking of about isolation and expressing isolation, how is because I especially know the feeling of isolation. I've been there. I personally have been there in isolation because and I will, I'm going to admit, that's the first step of stepping out of denial is admitting belief. And I mean, first step to out of denial is admitting our wrongs, admitting our faults, admitting what we've and telling others what I've gone through, what we've all gone through. If we don't tell each other what we've gone through, how can it help others? Okay? So whenever we isolate ourselves, that isolation is keeping us from telling others about the stuff we've gone through, telling each other about the hurts, struggles, whatever that we've gone through. I've been there in isolation. Back in February, and yes, I'm going to be open about this. I'm going to be open about this on stream, on YouTube, on Twitch. Honestly, if I don't admit it if I can't admit it to anybody else, how can I admit it to myself? How can I help anybody else who's possibly struggling through the same thing? And that's what my goal is to do for this recovery stream, is to help, support, encourage, love, just pour out my heart to you all of how much I honestly love and care and appreciate each and every one, because I want to try my best to help you. I want to help people. And whenever I'm helping you all, I'm also helping myself. All right. The reason why I know for a fact what isolation is and how bad isolation gets. Back in February of 2020, and I know we don't want to go talking about 2020, but back in February of 2020, the whole before the whole pandemic, the shutdowns, whatnot whatsoever, I was in isolation so bad. I was as isolated. I wanted to stay in my apartment. I just wanted to stay inside, close everybody out, close my. I mean, I literally was shutting down every single person. If they told me that they loved me, if they told me anything, I'd shut them out. It didn't do no good. I literally shut them out. Okay? I shut everybody else out and let my negative thoughts and feelings get the better of me. Isolation for me, whenever I was in isolation and shutting everyone down, I kept telling myself, nobody actually loves me for me. Nobody, I literally did not feel as if I was loved whatsoever. People tell me that they love me. I didn't believe them. I honestly didn't believe them. That, and I got to the point where, and I was also struggling with depression. I was still struggling with grief because, I still fight and struggle with grief. I struggle with the grief, and I struggle with the loss of my grandmother. And again, there are reasons for that. But that grief, those hurts from and denying every single thing. I mean, I believed lies that was the lies that I've been told, like all the hurt and the hurtful words, hurtful things that's been done to me. Every single thing, whether it was being bullied in school. Okay, I was bullied in school because of my sexuality. On top of that, I struggled with, again, like I said, I struggled with grief from the loss of my grandmother. I struggled with not even loving myself because I've gotten put down so much. I got myself to the point where I literally did not feel loved whatsoever. And that's how bad isolation gets. It denies every truth that's been told. I mean, if someone loves you and they tell you, sometimes it is true. Sometimes it is true. If they if it's someone you know, and I mean, words actions speak louder than words. But whenever we shut down everything and isolate ourselves, we start to believe the negative thoughts, all that negativity that's been said over us or done to us. It really, really eats at us. And so, February of 2020, I got so badly isolated. I was putting myself down, not believing that I was loved at all. And I isolation and depression does not mix. Back in February 2020, I got so bad where honestly I wanted to end my life. I didn't feel loved, nothing. That's how bad isolation gets. That's how bad it gets whenever we deny our feelings, deny our emotions, deny any belief. That's how bad isolation gets us. That's how bad denial gets us. So the A in denial. We went over the other letters. Um, the A in denial. A lot. I can't say that word. I can't pronounce it. Alienates us from my relationship, from our relationships. Denial tells us we're getting away with it. We think no one knows. So we're basically hiding ourselves when we're in denial. We're hiding from others. We're hiding our hurts from others, or we're trying to. So, some people are easy showing their hurts, but not all the time. Not all the time. Um, Length and the L and denial stands for lengthens our pain. It is false belief that denial protects us from our pain. Denial allows our pain to fester and to grow and turn into shame and guilt. All right, so we went through what denial is and the acrostic for denial. And if you're just now joining us, I highly, if you're, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, I highly recommend that if you are struggling or are or have been through, or if you even want to, go back and rewatch the stream on YouTube. And if you need my YouTube channel, I will the link for it. I will be sure to give it to y'all if needed. Uh, okay, so we are going to go over these questions. I'm not going to answer them personally because these questions are personal. Uh, but I am going to read. I'm going to take time and read through all 6 of these questions. These questions are, again, like I said, personal, and these questions are the kind of questions that you want to deeply ask yourself. So if you have a pen and paper or want to write these questions down, or write your answer down in a journal, or something, however you wish to do this. I'm gonna go through the. I'm gonna go through the. I'm gonna go through these questions. Uh, at each of the 6 questions, and 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 so uh, everyone can answer the questions for themselves as we go along. All right. So, all right. So, the first question: what areas of your life are unmanageable? What areas of my life are unmanageable? Do you have areas of your life that are unmanageable, or do you feel like they're unmanageable? The next question: how do I usually handle pain and disappointment? So, how do you handle pain and disappointment? Again, these are just personal questions. You don't have to answer them out loud. Just answer. Just that these are just questions to deeply ask ourselves. What actions can I take to address my denial? What can you do to address your denial? How can you handle your denial? How can you address it? Oh, it's all right. Thank you for coming in. Um, let me give you a shout out. Let me give you a shout out. There you go. All right, and we're just going over questions. We're going over personal questions right now. Um, they're the kind of personal questions to just ask ourselves. Or you can write them in a journal. Write your answers down in a journal. Just um. So yeah, like just these are questions, like self asking questions, like personal questions. So, and the last one was about denial. So, all right, all right. So the next question: what brought me out of my denial of my hurt, habit, or hang up? So like if you've been through any hurt habit or hang up of any kind or anything or any addiction, hurt, habit, hang up, what brought you out of denial? If you've been through it, what brought you through denial, or what brought you out of denial? Sorry. All right, and then the um. All right, and then this last question. This last question that we're gonna do. I know I said 6 questions, but I'm going over the questions that we that I feel like are appropriate stream wise. Uh, so out of this lesson, if you was here during the lesson, or if you're just coming in and you are, I encourage you, uh, if you wasn't here for the lesson, just go back and rewatch it on YouTube if you would like. You don't have to, but if you'd like to. Um, what what did you take out of this lesson? What did you get out of the lesson that we went over? What did you get out of the lesson? All right. So, uh, now, what I want to do, I know that I didn't stream for very long. I know I didn't stream for very long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the Serenity Prayer. For those that knows it, can for those that knows the Serenity Prayer, you are welcome to say it with me. Say it out loud right there with me if you know it. Yes, right time, right time. We will be, for those that's on Twitch, we will be writing out. Uh, let's get let's get this let's read the Serenity Prayer together. I think that would be a good way to end the uh end the stream before we raid out on Twitch. Um, all right. So the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace. Living as Jesus did, the sinful world as it is, not that I would have it. Trusting that you will make all things right if I surrender to your will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with you forever in the next. Amen. All right. So I want to personally thank everyone. I want to personally thank everybody who came into the stream. If you would like to, feel free to go ahead and rewatch the stream if you missed it, but that's if you like to. But on Twitch, we are going to write out. On Twitch, we are going to write out. Uh, again, tomorrow, tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. Central Time, and then this is gonna be Monday through Friday. This is gonna be the Celebrate Recovery stream is going to be on Monday nights at 6 p.m. But if anyone was here and they was part of the mental health streams from earlier, whether it be at the 10 a.m. Central Time stream or the 2 p.m. Central Time stream. I hope they're all right. All right. So if you were a part of either one of those streams today, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Time and 2 p.m. Central Time, we're gonna have at least an hour. We're gonna have at least an hour in both. Um, the morning topic will be one thing. The afternoon topic will be a different thing to kind of that way we're not talking about the same thing over and over and over. That way we're not talking about like the same thing over and over, and that way we put a mixture of things into the mental health stream. Also, if you like, also on Sunday and Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. I do sing. I also do hymnal and gospel streams on Sunday and Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. Central Time. Also, before I forget, if you have a Discord, if you're in Discord or have a Discord, I do post in there when I go live. I will post in there whenever I go live. And that's just another way of contacting me on from Twitch. But yes, okay. So we're gonna rate out on Twitch. Let's see who all. Let's see who all is on Twitch. Let's see who's all on Twitch to rate out. All right. Well, let me check Discord first. Okay. I wanted to make sure no one posted in the. Let me go through the. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to rate out. He's playing Call of Duty. He's playing Call of Duty, y'all. For everyone on Twitch, he's he's also on. He's also streaming on YouTube as well as Twitch. So we are going to rate out. All right. We're gonna rate out, y'all. thank you again for being a part of the stream, whether it be on Twitch or YouTube. And Twitch, let's go and right out. Love y'all. All right. And for those that's on YouTube, thank you again for being a part of the stream. I will see you all again at 10 a.m. tomorrow.